following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Don't you know that I'm loving you? In a garden of freedom, baby. Don't you know that I'll always be true? Oh, won't you come with me and take my hand? Oh, won't you come with me and walk this line? In a garden of Eden, honey, don't you know that I'm loving you? In a garden of Eden, baby, don't you know that I'll always be true? Oh, won't you come with me and take my hand? Oh, won't you come with me and walk this line? Please take my hand.
Hi, and welcome to the Brain Sandwich Celebration of Thanksgiving podcast. My name is Mike Madonna, and I was not originally going to do a Thanksgiving podcast, but I was talked into it by several different people. And so I said, well, why not? Because I'll be doing a Christmas one not too long from now, but let's celebrate Thanksgiving then. And we started out with a little gimmicky thing I did years ago for the radio called In a Gobbler de Vida by Iron Turkey. Luckily, that was the 2-minute and 52-second version of that song, so I didn't have the heart to go all 18 and a half like the original was. Okay, well, I'll explain a little bit more about what's going to happen on the program after we take another quick break here. Here is the Cab City Combo with Indian Corn on the Brain Sandwich Show.
Wanna hey, wanna pop some corn. Wanna pop some corn. Wanna hay, wanna hay, wanna pop some corn. Wanna pop some corn. Wanna pop some corn. Wanna hay, wanna hay, wanna pop some corn. Wanna pop some corn. Wanna pop some corn. Wanna hay, wanna pop some corn. Wanna pop some corn. Wanna pop some corn. Wanna hay, wanna pop some corn. Maize.
First, wash me off real good. Then bind my legs tighter, tighter. Now stuff me, baby. Oh, stuff me. Now stick me in the oven. I'm hot. Oh, I'm so hot. Baste me more. Oh, my thermometer is pumping. Yes, I'm done. Oh, I'm done.
Thanksgiving, an American tradition, celebrating the plentiful harvest the Pilgrims and Indians did so long ago. A great feast which we partake in to this day. But few people realize just how big a feast it was. In these shocking documents just unearthed by researchers, the Pilgrims' shopping list is finally a matter of public record. And what a list it is! 427,000 turkeys, 876 tons of stuffing, 335,000 pounds of ham, and 47,000 pounds of candied yams. In this dramatic illustration, what appears to be 7 million Indians and 3 million pilgrims partake in this preposterous big out. And what about Porto Sands? 3,000 pits 50 feet in diameter ring the feast. No time for modesty here. How did they wash it down? With 47 million gallons of ale, enough to fill the raging mighty Mississippi, flowing through the bladders of all present. What to do with leftovers? 20,000 tons of leftovers stored on ice, enough to feed the town of Woonsocket, Rhode Island for 75 years. But wait, 75,000 pounds of bicarbonate of soda were consumed. The equivalent of 500,000 Alka-Seltzers made this experience a gas. Thanksgiving, a time to remember what our forefathers did. Stuffed their faces with food until it drooled down the side of their mouths and their clothes burst open, flatulating till they fell asleep.
Mountain View Ranch.
Yes, sir. Y'all the ones that takes people turkey hunting?
Yes, sir, we sure are.
Mm-hmm. Well, looky here. I had a few questions I wanted to ask you about turkey hunting.
Okay, maybe I can help you.
When can you go turkey hunting?
Well, there's several times a year you can go. We have spring gobbler hunts in April and May.
Gobblers?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. Well, when else can you hunt them?
We also have fall turkey hunts, and you can even combine a turkey hunt with a whitetail or even a buffalo hunt.
Buffaloes? Y'all shoot buffalo?
Yes, sir.
Ain't that against the law?
No, sir. Not here, it's not.
Well, can you have a coat made out of that buffalo hide?
Well, I'm sure you can.
Wouldn't it stink pretty bad?
No, not if it's done properly.
So you can kill a turkey and a buffalo on the same hunting trip?
Yes, sir, you sure can.
Well, how much do it cost?
Well, that depends on the kind of hunt you want. The basic turkey hunt is $300. Or you can do the combination hunt for turkey and buffalo with a guide, and you can even get a video of the hunt, along with a scrapbook of pictures.
How much is that best one you got?
It runs $19.50.
$19.50?
Yes, sir.
Do that include my wife and kids, because they wants to come too?
No, that's per person.
$19.50 per person?
Yes, sir.
So for me, my wife, and 3 kids, 5 of us all together, it'd run about $100?
No, sir. 5 on the combination hunt would run $9,750.
Say what now?
Yes, sir. Almost $10,000.
Good Lord Almighty, $10,000? Well, look here, would y'all take a check for that?
Yes, sir. But we'd have to call your bank and verify the availability of funds.
Well, I got a pretty big tax refund coming, but it might be a while before it comes in. So if we was to come out there and go hunting, could I write you the check and then call y'all back when that tax refund come in, and then you can put it in the bank and cash it in? It'd be good then for sure.
No, sir, I'm sorry. We can't take a post-dated check. The funds have to be there when we deposit our check.
Well, do you get to keep the turkey meat and the buffalo meat?
Sure.
Well, do y'all pluck them turkeys and skin and butcher them buffalo?
Yes, sir, we sure do.
Well, I tell you what, I'm a preacher, And my church been talking about raising some money for a new building, but they probably going to raise more than what it's going to cost, and maybe I could just take part of that money and come out there. I sure would like to come out there and go on that hunt. Do y'all furnish the guns and the bullets, too?
Yes, sir, we can.
Well, would y'all care if I had me a few beers to drink up there? You know, I sure wouldn't want nobody down here to find out about it, but when I'm off away from here, I like to have a few beers and maybe go out dancing. Y'all got any nightclubs around there? Maybe do Little Milton or B.B. King or Bobby Rush or Marvin Cease or some of them play up in there sometime in some of them clubs?
Yes, sir, there are some clubs around here, and they have entertainers that come in about every weekend. Sir, that's your business. What goes on out here stays here. We don't discuss our customers or what they do with anybody.
Well, that's good. That's real good. My boys likes to drink, too, but they always afraid somebody down here going to see them. So way out there in them mountains, they could get towed down and wouldn't nobody ever know about it. And would it be all right if my wife was to bring a boyfriend with her?
Sir?
Yeah, I know this all sounds crazy, but we got what you call one of them dysfunctional families, and we just need to get out there every once in a while and turn loose.
Yes, sir, I understand. When you get ready and you get your money ready, you give me a call, and we'll get you set up.
Okay, then. I sure appreciate you talking with me, and I'll be back in touch pretty soon.
Okay, sir. You have a nice day.
All right. I sure will. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, that was Willie P. Richardson with Turkey Hunt. And before that, a couple of different Thanksgiving parody things I threw in there. And then started out with Indian Corn by the Cab City Combo. Of course, that was their version of the 1972 classic Popcorn by Hot Butter. And there are well over 80 versions of that, I might add. So we'll probably find a few more to put in upcoming podcasts. Okay, the next set, we're going to dedicate this one to the discomfort that you sometimes feel after eating a heavy Thanksgiving dinner. I'm too young to remember this, but I am told by relatives that my mom, I guess this would have been in the early to mid-'60s, decided she was going to make a turkey for Thanksgiving, and I guess for the first time. And keep in mind, this is in the days before they had pop-up thermometers. So she makes this turkey for the family, extended family as well, and apparently didn't bake it long enough. Okay? And everybody got sick. So I won't go into it, but I mean, you kind of get the idea, I guess, from the next few songs here of what happened. And so it happens, I'm sure, every Thanksgiving somewhere. This is occurring to some other family. So this is a salute to nausea during the holidays. First up, Simply Indigestible by the Colon Sphincter Band on The Brain Sandwich Show.
My wife is on a health food kick to keep us both from getting sick. Yeah, yeah. She says red meat is now taboo. No chocolate eggs or Mountain Dew. She made a turkey out of tofu and some gravy out of kelp. She stuffed it full of oat bran. Oh Lord, I need your help. Says that it's good for me, but I find it's simply indigestible. I'd rather have the high cholesterol. Then she told me that she'd make some seaweed that would taste like steak. The jello molded lentil paste, yeah, it looked and smelled like toxic waste. Black beans, soybeans, lima beans, navy beans, and squash, mung beans, stung beans, and eggplant. Oh my gosh, her guru says it's good for me, but I find it's simply indigestible. I think I'd rather die on a chili dog. I'd rather have the high cholesterol. The same to you. I think I'd rather choose some greasy chicken wings. Simply indigestible. You don't mind. I think I'd rather die on a chili dog. I'd rather have the high cholesterol. The same to you. I think I'd rather choose some greasy chicken wings.
And now it's time for holiday cooking tip number 117 with Robin Williams.
Hello, this is Robin with a little holiday cooking tip. First, take the turkey and address it firmly. Good morning, turkey! Yes! Take the bird, pull the legs apart. Oh, if I had a nickel for every time I heard that, yes. Turkey gynecologist, make sure you get the little turkey feet and the little turkey stirrups. Oh, no, don't stuff me! Don't stuff me! But I must, it's my job. Cook that bird! Nanu, then put it in the oven. Help me, I'm melting! Ah, it's done. Tune in next week for more cooking tips. Seize the holiday. Don't eat me, shut up!
Can I take your order, please?
You can munch at McDonald's and crunch at Kentucky Fried Chicken or Jack in the Box. You can lunch at Del Taco where the brunch isn't schlocko, but you won't find no bagels and lox. But don't get carried away at the unknown cafe. The results may be very unnutritious. Besides tasting very yucky, if you get very unlucky, the reaction can be rather vicious. Domain, you give me a pain. You drive me insane. Well, it isn't very comic that I can hardly stomach. Domain is nobody's game when I sing your refrain. Domain. I remember the night I first met you in a small canyon country cafe. I tried so hard not to get to a moonlit night. I lost my appetite. Ladies and gentlemen, the flatulence. La 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 la. Hardly stomach. Domain is nobody's game when I sing your refrain. Domain.
I know it's getting late, and I know we had a date, Lucia. I hate to make you wait, 'cause it would be so great to see ya. And tears fall from my eyes and I must apologize, Lucia. I'll have to stay at home, so I called you on the phone, 'cause I'm stuck here on the throne with diarrhea. I thought that it was only gas, so I went and let one pass. Then I stood there in a trance as I filled my brand new pants. My mother brought me soup, but it only made me poop, Lucia. I never should have ate, but it sounded like a great idea. You know it really hurts when you got the Hershey squirts, Lucia. There's no paper to be seen, so I use People magazine, and it makes me wanna scream, diarrhea. I love you, dear, with all my heart, but I can't go out with liquid farts. I wouldn't have to break our date if only I could constipate. I know you got the hots, but I really got the trots, Lucia. There's no need to scream and shout, 'cause tomorrow we'll go out, I guarantee ya. I know you need your man, so I came up with a plan, Lucia. I'll take a cork and super glue, pound it in there with my shoe, and then I'll be all through with diarrhea.
A perennial favorite on the Brain Sandwich back in the days when we were broadcasting. That was called Diarrhea by Diupers. Before that, the Tango Tomei Mondo Facts. Then we did the Robin Williams Holiday Cooking Tip. And started out with Simply Indigestible by the Colon Sphincter Band. And I might add that my mom never again fixed turkey, ever. And I grew up kind of from the earliest memories of just ham for Thanksgiving whenever we stayed at home. However, when we went to my grandmother's house, my mom's mom, she indeed fixed turkey and knew how to do it right, and the homemade stuffing was just wonderful and things like that. So that was just the one and only time that everybody got ill was when my mom did this. So it kind of made her a little gun shy, I suppose you could say. And as a matter of note, I do the Thanksgiving turkey in my family. It's just my wife and myself. And luckily, we do have the pop-up thermometers, because I would probably have the same kind of luck as my mom did if I tried to do it the way she did it. So, yeah, that's going to happen a week from tomorrow. Today, by the way, is November the 19th. And I want to get all this done tonight so we can get it uploaded in time for you to hear before the holidays. Time for you to enjoy all the puking and farting noises that were just in that last set there. Okay, let me explain a little bit about where I'm going with the show at this point in time. Back in 1983, I discovered a book called The Golden Turkey Awards. And it was by Harry and Michael Medved. And basically what it was, if you're not familiar with it, was that it was a sort of a chronicle of every bad movie that they had seen up until that point. And they made it fun. They made it categories like worst performance by an actor in a movie, worst movie title, like that. And so some time after, I read the book, I started collecting these films. I said, oh, I've got to see these now that I've read about them. And then Rhino Records released the Golden Turkey album, which they subtitled The Best Songs from the Worst Movies. And since there really aren't a whole lot of what you could call turkey carols that I could play on a Thanksgiving show, then I'm going to go with the Golden Turkeys for obvious reasons. And I'm playing most of the cuts from that album, with the exception of, I think, 2 or 3. And I'll get into the reasons why later. But I think we're going to start out with the set by Arch Hall Jr. Who is Arch Hall Jr.? Well, he's the son of Arch Hall Sr., and Arch Hall Sr. made some of the most memorable bad films that are outlined in the Golden Turkey Awards book. By the way, I don't know if you can still get it. You might be able to get it on eBay or something like that, or with any luck, it might still be in your library. But anyhow, it's a wonderful book. Arch Hall Jr. wound up being in his dad's films, reluctantly, I might add. He was never comfortable in the spotlight, he said, in later years. For many years, he wouldn't even talk about it. He became a pilot, and I believe he's retired now, but he also writes. He's written some books under pseudonyms. But anyway, Arch Hall Jr. was a musician, and he did appear in these films and do some songs in these films. And this set is going to be by him. We'll start out with Vicky, which is from the film Ega. That was one of the top 5 bad films of all time. It was about a caveman in modern-day California, or what was then modern-day California, early 60s kind of stuff, played by Richard Kiel, who went on to become the James Bond villain Jaws in The Spy Who Loved Me and Moonraker. But anyway, Vicky is from the film Ega. Then we'll go to Yes I Will, which is from the film Wild Guitar. And then Valerie, which takes us back to Ega. So, enjoy on the Brain Sandwich Show.
I love you, Vicky. You know I do. My whole life has changed. Though the first day we met was my last day with you. Vicky, oh Vicky, what have I done? Why can't we make up? We can have so much fun. If you don't love me, I was a fool. Oh, Vicky, you are my love. Vicky, oh Vicky, I'm so alone. If you could just talk to me, if I could just call you on the phone, would you give one more chance to a fool? Oh, Vicky, you are my love. You are my love. Vicky, you are my love. I'm gonna love you, baby, yes I will. 'Cause you opened my eyes and gave me such a thrill.
said I was a roving kind, but I guess you made me change my mind. And I'm gonna love you, baby, yes I will. I found it's true, I don't want no one unless that one is you. Ba-doobie-doobie-doo. I'm gonna tell you about all the things you do, about those chills you give me through and through. You're so sweet and you're so kind, you put heaven right here in my mind. And I'm gonna tell you about all the things you do. Yes, I will. 'Cause you opened my eyes and gave me such a thrill. Well, everybody said I was a roving kind, but I guess you made me change my mind. And I'm gonna love you, baby. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. If I had 1,000 paintings in a marble gallery, every single picture would be a Valerie. Vitamins are good, they say, and so's a calorie. But I feel like a tiger on one kiss from Valerie. I couldn't stand tomorrow, and they could have today, if someone took my Valerie a half a mile away. If I had $1 billion and a banker's salary, I'd spend it all on flowers to give to Valerie.
All right, that was the Arch Hall Jr. set from the Golden Turkey album. Arch Hall, as I said, is or was a real musician, and during the time these films were made in the early 60s, he was with a group called Arch Hall and the Archers. And one of the members of the Archers went on to have a top 10 hit back in 1977, I believe it was. You may know it if you're as old as I am. The song was called Undercover Angel by Alan O'Day. And Alan and the rest of the Archers have reunited with Arch Hall. They did a concert in a nightclub in New Orleans just before Katrina hit. And so I don't know what happened after that. Nobody's posted pictures that I've found anyway. I'd love to see him, but so in addition to his musicianship, Arch Hall was actually a pretty good actor, not in the films that we were talking about, EGOT because I don't think he wanted to be in them. But he was in a film, a black and white film in the early 60s called The Sadist. And this was strictly a dramatic role for him. He had not had anything like this before. And I got to say that even now the movie is pretty unsettling. And so he did a really good job of acting in that, and did not do much after that. I think his last film was called The Nasty Rabbit or something like that. And then he enlisted into the service, went to Vietnam, and won some medals. I don't really know everything about it. I'm not sure it was a Purple Heart, or I think there were probably Valor medals and stuff like that. So he really distinguished himself after his film career. And then, like I said earlier, he became a commercial pilot and retired from that, I believe. Okay, well, let's move along then. What have I got coming up here? Okay, again from the Golden Turkey album. This one's called Lonesome by the Ballou Twins. That's Bobby and Benny Ballou of Texas, from the film Rock Baby Rocket. And these guys, anything but rock stars. You'll see now why you've probably never heard of them and why they really never went anywhere after this. In some portions of the song, it sounds like the guys have the hiccups, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you hear it. So enjoy this Thanksgiving treat from the Golden Turkey album. Here are the Ballou Twins with Lonesome on the Brain Sandwich Show.
Introducing those teenage sensations, the Ballou Twins. We invite you to rock with the boys while they sing Lonesome. Lonesome. Lonesome for you, baby, won't you all the time? Lonesome for you, baby, won't you please be mine? I need you just so bad, I don't know what to do. Since you're gone away, you make me feel so blue. I'm so lonesome, why can't you be true? Had loving, baby, she was just my kind. Since you're gone away, you nearly lost my mind. Made me feel so blue. I'm so lonesome, why can't you be true? Lonesome for you, baby, won't you all the time? Lonesome for you, baby, won't you please be mine? I need you just so bad, I don't know what to do. Since you're gone away, you make me feel so blue. I'm so lonesome, why can't you be true? You know we just can't leave. Wanting all the kisses, all she got to give. Can't she hear my plea? I'm so lonesome, please come back to me. Lonesome for you, baby, won't you all the time? Lonesome for you, baby, won't you please be mine? I need you just so bad, I don't know what I can do. Since you're gone away, you make me feel so blue. I'm so lonesome, why can't you be true? I'm so lonesome, why can't you be true? Lonesome.
Yeah, I need some help.
What's the problem?
I'm handcuffed to a bed.
What?
I'm handcuffed to a bed.
How did this happen?
I was having sex with this guy and, it got a little kinky. So, I didn't mind the handcuffs. But, he started pulling out all these little toys and he shoved one in my butt. And he left me handcuffed to the bed and he left.
Where were you located?
72nd.
Can't come down to 72nd there. It's too far down.
I'll give you whatever you want just to get me out of here. Because I've called a million places. I'm sitting here naked. I'll do anything. I'll fuck you. Anything. Oh.
Your handcuff, he left you plane?
He left me handcuffed with something stuck in my ass. It hurts.
What's holding it
It won't come out only halfway and then it goes back in.
I can't come down to 72nd Street. It's too far.
Come on, I'll suck your dick. I'll do anything. Oh, I'll suck your dick.
He must be coming back to take it out.
I don't think so. He ain't gonna come back. I know he ain't. He hit me a little bit. He hit me and he whipped me with this big whip. Come on, I got big titties. I got nice lips and nice eyes and nice hair. Just come down and please get me. Please.
You gotta be able to slip it out of your
It won't come out. I thought this was normal.
Something stuck up your ass is normal.
Fuck you, man. Fuck you.
And he's never put anything up your ass before?
Never. Not ever. Not even his dick. A couple of fingers one time, but that's it. Yeah, it's like one of those ambassadors. You know, the big ambassadors. The big ones.
I'm not familiar with them.
It's big and black and 2 foot long and it hurts. Come and get it out. Pull it out for me.
That's gonna hurt.
You can lick my butt so it wouldn't be so sore. Oh, fuck you. I'll do things that your wife never did before.
I don't think you're in any shape to fuck anybody.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm gonna come and find you. I'm gonna handcuff you to a bed and stick a big ambassador up you.
That's not nice. No wonder he did this to you.
My name's Candy Sweet and I demand respect.
You didn't get too much today so far.
No, I didn't, did I?
And you got a good whipping too.
That's okay, 'cause I'm gonna piss in your ear.
Let go a load in your mouth.
I'm gonna fart in your face.
Well, call me back tomorrow. I'll let you know how you feel.
I wanna bite the pimples off your ass with my teeth, my 3 good teeth.
So call me back tomorrow morning. I'll let you know how your ass feels.
Okay.
Okay? Be good, baby.
I will.
Bye-bye.
Hello, it's me, Arnold, and it's time for Terminator Tales. Today, the story of Thanksgiving. A long time ago, the Pilgrims came to the New World and settled on land owned by Indians. The Pilgrims said, "Here are 4 axes and a blanket. We own the land." The Indians said, "How?" The Pilgrims said, "Simple. You have spears and arrows, and we got guns. We make you a deal, Chief. You give us the land, we don't blow you up." The Indians said, which in English means, and the Pilgrims said, "Thanks for giving us the land." The story of Thanksgiving. I have to go blow up my turkey now. Bye-bye. Have a good holiday.
We need a Santa Claus on Mars.
When we hear sleigh bells ring, our hearts go ting
Hooray for Santa Claus from Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. That was Milton DeLugg. That was also from the Golden Turkey album. Before that, Terminator Tales with the story of Thanksgiving. Before that was one of the prank phone calls that I'm so fond of. That was the 976 Girls with Help Me. And then we started off with Lonesome by Bobby and Benny Ballou. And after hearing that, I'm sure you can well understand why they were lonesome. Speaking of golden turkeys, I have some DVDs of a film that made it prominently into that book. It's called Bela Lugosi Meets a Brooklyn Gorilla, starring, of course, Bela, and then Duke Mitchell and Sammy Petrillo. They were a wannabe Martin and Lewis team. As a matter of fact, if you see Sammy Petrillo, you will almost think you're seeing a very young Jerry Lewis. It was quite uncanny. And so he used that impersonation for all it was worth in this particular film. And I have some that I will be glad to send out. I have 5 copies left from the days when I was doing public radio. Community radio, as they used to call it then. And we had these as pledge premium gifts. And some of them went and some of them didn't, so I wound up bringing back a stack of them to the house. I have 5 of them to give away. If you're interested, please drop me an email at brainboys@aol.com. Send me an email at any time, really, about this, because I don't know when you're going to get to hear this or whatnot. It may be weeks after I've posted it before you hear it, but drop me an email anyway, because you never know. You might get it. And I'll be glad to send it out to you. I will send you an email to confirm that you've won, if you can call it that. So remember, it's brainboys@aol.com. You can also send requests there. All right, let's just move along then. Here is from the Golden Turkey album. This is called She Left Me Lonely by Dr. Frederick Kopp. And again, this the lonely theme that seems to be insinuating itself in here is, you'll understand why she left him lonely. So from the film The Creeping Terror, here is Dr. Frederick Kopp on the Brain Sandwich Show.
My God, what is it?
She left me lonely, oh, she left me sad, but still I am happy, in fact I am glad, for I am as free as that bird in the tree, 'cause she left me alone and could not marry me. I said that I loved her and would till I die. I tried to forget her, and I really did try, but I'll still think of her till the day that I die. 'Cause I think that I loved her, though I'll never know why. Oh, she left me lonely, she left me sad, but still I am happy, in fact I am glad, for I am as free as that bird in the tree. 'Cause she left me alone and could not marry me.
Play some music! I said, let's hear some music!
There's a story you should know from 100 years ago, and 100 years we've waited now to tell. Now the Yankees come along, and they'll listen to this song, and they'll quake in fear to hear this rebel yell.
And they'll quake in fear to hear this rebel yell. Yeah! Oh, the South's gonna rise again. Yeah! Oh, the South's gonna rise again.
Robert E. Lee broke his musket on his knee, and 1,000 pieces shattered on the ground. But he looked up then, and he gathered up his men, and from his lips there came an awful sound.
And from his lips there came an awful sound. Yeah! Oh, the South's gonna rise again. Yeah! Oh, the South's gonna rise again.
Stonewall took a gun and he made the Yankees run, but he took a fatal bullet in the chest. As he fell down dead, old Stonewall said, I'm a-giving you a dying man's request.
I'm a-giving you a dying man's request. Yeah! Oh, the South's gonna rise again. Yeah! Oh, the South's gonna rise again.
Stewart spurred his horse, and the Yankees ran, of course, but there wasn't any powder for his gun. So he said to his boys, let's make a lot of noise, and we'll charge again and make them Yankees run.
And we'll charge again and make them Yankees run. Yeah! Oh, the South's gonna rise again. Yeah! Oh, the South's gonna rise again.
Robert E. Lee broke his musket on his knee, and 1,000 pieces shattered on the ground. But he looked up then, and he gathered up his men, and from his lips there came an awful sound.
And from his lips there came an awful sound. Yeah! Oh, the South's gonna rise again. Yeah! Oh, the South's gonna rise again.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Vincent Price.
If I am feeling particularly ambitious, I make a real curry, plus all the side dishes. Many curries are made with meats on the bone, but for my guests, I only want to serve small boys. I like to look around for some really exotic and very hot ones. That's the way my wife likes them. I then skin the boys and take all of the meat from the bone. The easy way is to stab them one at a time with a fork and heat them over a gas flame on the stove until the skin bursts. It then peels right off. What fun. To make the curry itself is child's play. A very simple but a very elegant dish. Nothing makes a more exotic party. I generally lower all the lights and burn a little child to help create a mood. And then I have sitar records and put them on the stereo, and that helps tremendously. Candles winking everywhere are very romantic. The visual display of the curry, all the condiments, and the boys is really spectacular. This meal depends on you to create a mood, so be daring. Use a different tablecloth or a brilliant remnant of material. Pull out all the brass and copper you can find. Wear dangling earrings and a draped sari if you have it, and every bracelet you can find. Your guests will talk about this dinner party for weeks.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I have a question for you. Okay. I have something that I'd like to have bronzed. And it's kind of personal. I had a sex change operation, and I'd like to have my penis that is in formaldehyde, but I'd like to have it bronzed. I know it's so embarrassing.
You would like to have that bronze?
Yes, I would.
Well, if we bronze it for you, you won't be able to use it anymore.
Well, it doesn't do me much good now. I'm a woman. But, yeah, I'd like to have it bronzed, so I could display it. You know, I mean, I spent 34 years as a man, and it was part of my body, and now I just, you know, I don't want to throw it away.
Could you hold on 1 second, please?
Certainly.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I can get a price for you on that.
Okay, please.
To do it.
Yeah.
How long is it?
Oh, God. Well, it's about 2.5 inches.
Okay. All right. May I have your name and phone number, and maybe I can call you back with the price?
Yes, well, I recently had the operation, so I'm still under my male name, which is Robert Rococo.
Spell that, please.
R-O-C-O-C-O.
Okay. Well, excuse me for, I'm a little shocked, you know.
I can imagine. Oh, how do you think I feel looking at the damn thing?
Oh, I can imagine. But, is there any type of finish, antique or,
yeah, I think an antique finish would be fine.
Yeah, because an antique would show all the details.
Yes, I want the detail.
Okay. Okay. But the...
Now, I have another question. Mm-hmm. Do you think you could make it bigger? It's very small because it was taken off in surgery, and it's not as how I would like to remember it, if you know what I'm saying. Is there any way we could sort of add an inch or two? Or 3, maybe?
Maybe they could do something to stuff it. I really don't know. I'm going to have to...
Okay, well, could you give me a price then?
Okay, yeah. The only problem with bronzing this is that, you know, that's more like human tissue and flesh, you know. It has, you see, this thing is going to be dipped into like a very hot solution.
And you think it'll ruin it?
It might become ruined, yes.
Oh,
so
no,
you're really taking a chance.
Well, do you think we could put it in plaster of Paris? Or, I mean, what do I do here? I've got this penis. I want it to be saved. I don't want to lose it.
Plaster. Okay, just 1 second.
Freeze dry, maybe? I don't know.
Okay, just 1 second.
Okay.
This is Mike speaking.
Hello, Mike?
Yes.
Yeah, hi, this is Robert.
Yes, I understand that you're making a very unusual request.
I understand.
Yeah. It's not a question that we can't do, but it has to go through a certain amount of process before it's bronzed.
Right.
And I'm saying I'm really not sure we can do something like that.
Right.
You know, and if it is possible, it would be very expensive.
Let me ask you a question. How do they do like moose heads and fish and things like that? I mean, I know they're not bronze; they're stuffed.
Yeah, that's a taxidermist would do that. Yeah.
See, I think that it would be kind of tasteless, though. You know, I think a bronze penis is a lot nicer than just to go with it stuffed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So I mean, what would happen here is you'd have to put it in a solution that could destroy it. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, it depends on what kind of substance it has now.
Right. Well, right now it's in formaldehyde, just sitting in a jar.
Yeah. Well, I'm really not sure because once they remove it from the formaldehyde, you know, I don't know if it's going to be able to retain its shape. You know, once it dips, you know, once it gets dipped and all that.
Yeah. Maybe if we like put it on a stick or something and put it in.
Yeah. I don't know if you know, this is really it's really awkward, you know, because I've never worked with anything like this before, and I really don't know who to pass it through who would know anything about how to do this.
Right.
But you know, if it's possible, if you could bring it in and maybe we can look at it.
Oh God, I tell you, it's so unnerving to be discussing using this and to bring it in so you can have a look at it, it just makes me want to you know? Well, where are you located? I'll bring it on down.
Okay. We're located on
It's going to be a real bear taking this thing in a cab. Okay, me and my pecker will be there.
Okay, then.
Bye.
Bye.
The Ballbusters with the famous bronze penis phone call. Before that, Vincent Price with How to Cook Boys, a re-editing of some of his gourmet cooking show stuff. Robert E. Lee broke his musket on his knee from the film 2000 Maniacs and is also on the Golden Turkey album. The wonderful thing about these guys was that they were trying to be Kingston Trio, I suppose. And they walked around singing these wonderful folk songs where people were getting their arms hacked off and barbecued over an open fire. And some of the horrible things that happened to these people in the Herschel Gordon Lewis film 2000 Maniacs. It has been remade a couple of years back with Robert Englund starring in it, and same plot, not the same script exactly, but the same plot, and was almost as disgusting, and therefore it was kind of fun to watch. And started off with She Left Me Lonely, Dr. Frederick Kopp from the film The Creeping Terror. Let me tell you real quick about The Creeping Terror. The Creeping Terror is considered to be one of the unholy three that was in the Golden Turkey Awards book. The other two were Plan 9 from Outer Space and Robot Monster. I believe that EGOT was a runner-up somewhere in one of these categories, but from what I remember, and I don't have the book in front of me now, the unholy three, Plan 9, Robot Monster, and The Creeping Terror. The Creeping Terror, in case you haven't seen it, is nothing more than a carpet. It was an old carpet that they got out of a dump somewhere and decided to try and make it into a monster. It was really unfrightening and was rather funny, actually, when you stop and think about it. But the filmmaker was a guy, he acted, I can't remember his real name, but he acted under the name Vic Savage and played a sheriff in the film. What happened was they made this movie, and then they lost the soundtrack. And so they had to go back in and redub it. And somewhere along the line, this guy took off because he was a con artist. He owed everybody money from every which way. And he just disappeared and was not heard from again. I believe he died in the mid-'70s. This film goes back to the early 60s, I believe. It is available on DVD. I found it on a set at Best Buy, actually, and Drive-In Classics, I think it's called. 8 Drive-In Classics. And you have to watch it because I think it might be Volume 2. So just check it out. If you're going to get this thing, there are other wonderful things on there, like They Saved Hitler's Brain. And they also have The Madman of Mandaris, which is the original working title and an earlier edit of They Saved Hitler's Brain. But I got it for The Creeping Terror. And it just wonderful and awesome in its complete stupidity and ineptness. And I can't say enough about it. I do know that Mystery Science Theater 3000 did it, spoofed it, but I haven't seen that yet. I have it somewhere in my collection. I need to dig it out. But I wanted to see it in its full glory first before I saw what Mystery Science Theater 3000 did to it. And thank God I got the chance. All right, let's move along. Here is somebody that I am distantly related to, I found out recently. My aunt did a genealogy tree and discovered that I'm related to Harold Lloyd, who was a silent film comedian. By marriage, I'm related. Apparently, we were family to Harold's wife. So, I mean, we're so far removed, it really doesn't matter. But Harold's son, Harold Lloyd Jr., appeared in a film called Frankenstein's Daughter, and he was with a group called the Page Cavanaugh Trio, and they did a song called Special Date. And here it is from the Golden Turkey album on the Brain Sandwich Show.
All right, cats, listen to me. You can take a rest out there now while Paige and the gang swing out on a little number that's dedicated to everybody with a special date.
Pick you up around 8. Try not to be late. It's so hard to wait when you got a special day. be starting at 9. All the dances are mine. Guess I really rate, 'cause I got a special day. At 10 o'clock, we'll start to rock. So hold me tight, wish we could dance all night. If we could only pretend the music never will end. Never seems to get late when you're in love with a special day. At 10 o'clock, we'll start to rock. We'll start to rock. So hold me tight. So hold me tight. Wish we could dance all night. If we could only pretend the music never will end. Never seems to get late when you're in love with a special day.
Beware of the blob, it creeps and leaps and glides and slides across the floor, right through the door and all around the wall. A splotch, be careful of the blob. Beware of the blob, it creeps and leaps and glides and slides across the floor, right through the door and all around the wall. A splotch, be careful of the blob. Beware of the blob, it creeps and leaps and glides and slides across the floor, right through the door and all around the wall. A splotch, be careful of the blob. Beware of the blob, it creeps and leaps and glides and slides across the floor, right through the door and all around the wall. A splotch, be careful of the blob. Beware of the blob, it...
Beware of the Blob. I guess I don't have to tell you what film that's from, huh? By someone calling himself the Five Blobs. Yeah, it was just one guy, but I guess the Five Blobs has a certain ring to it, whereas the one blob would not really cut it. And before that, from the film Frankenstein's Daughter, Special Date by, I guess, my long-lost cousin Harold Lloyd Jr., along with the Page Cavanaugh Trio. And Page Cavanaugh is actually still performing somewhere along the line. He just celebrated, I read on the internet, his 85th birthday. So back in the late 50s when he did this film, he was no kid then. So, wow. All right. Okay, let's move along. Here are two songs from the same film. Yeah, you guessed it, from the Golden Turkey album. From the film Rat Fink a Boo Boo. Not Rat Fink and Boo Boo, but Rat Fink a Boo Boo. And it got that title because, according to the story, the director, Ray Dennis Steckler, really didn't have enough money to change the title card once they had filmed the opening sequence. Somebody had just left out ND from the word and it became Ratfink a Boo Boo, which is actually one of his most entertaining films. It's really a combination, as star Carolyn Brandt called it, a combination between Batman and The Great Race. You know, how far can you take the joke? And so that's what they did. They got Woolworth cheap-ass costumes, dressed their stars up in it, and they became these superheroes that had absolutely no superpowers whatsoever. It's actually a very funny film. Ratfink a Boo Boo, and it is available on DVD out there somewhere. So these two songs are from that film. They're both done by Ron Haydock, who starred in the film under the acting pseudonym Vin Saxon, and who is a rock and roll star. And then he becomes Ratfink when these series of weird crimes are being committed, and a woman is being stalked and harassed by these psychotic guys and whatnot. So it turns out to be his girlfriend. So he's got to dress up in the Ratfink outfit along with his partner Boo Boo and chase down the bad guys. So there you have it. This is Ron Haydock with Ratfink, and then the second song is called Big Boss A Go Go, and then we'll see what happens after that. Here's Ron Haydock on the Brain Sandwich Show.
You are a Ratfink.
Now, baby, I've been doing some thinking, some mighty hard thinking about you. And it seems to me, no matter what you may be doing, it's playing me for some fool. I got the word for you because it's what you is. You is a rat fink. You is a rat fink. If I had a nickel for every time you've let me down, you know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, I'd be the wealthiest man in town. I've got my name for you because it's what you is. You is a rat fink. You is a rat fink. Guitar player's a rat fink. Yeah, 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 yeah. Don't you think I know what you've been doing to me, baby, that you dating all the guys are not school. So how can you say that you will love me then? How can you ever be so cruel? I've got the word for you because it's what you is. You is a rat fink. You is a rat fink. Piano player's a rat fink. Yeah, 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 yeah. My arms, they are still in need. You, I must be nuts. I still love you. I've got the word for you because it's what you is. You is a rat fink. You is a rat fink.
It's the big boss, a go-go party. It's
This old jalopy don't run on steam. We're gonna make that a go-go scene. 6 girls sitting in the back seat. 6 guys hanging out the rear. If you're tall and thin, we can squeeze you in. Then we'll all flip for the shore. A go-go party. Hey, kitty, go chicks. A go-go party is strictly for kicks. A time for romancing. How are you tired? And the big boss go this time. Come on in, the water's fine. Fire and lady to Surfville. Come on, let's hit the tide. Who cares about the bills? There's a lot of thrills when you put the baby by your side. Go party, he'll get your chest. Go party, it's strictly for kids. But the time for romancing, I'll hold you tight. And the bigger the boss, go party tonight. You better come on, it's the bigger the boss, go party tonight.
And now, holiday cooking tip number 307 with Richard Dreyfuss.
Can I have some quiet here for a minute, please? Yes, Richard's recipe for the holiday, a bird. A bird so large it could swallow a small boat. You know, I think what we're talking about here, mister, is a great white oven stuffer. Yes, not the kind you see on Julia Childs. No, but the big one. I even say, though, it's the holiday season. Close the tables, send the guests home, and don't go near the oven. There, I said it. Thank you very much.
When I come home and it's after 12, Mama's waiting up to give me a well. She gets her shook out of shape. Shook out of shape. She gets her shook out of shape. Doing the twist. She slips the disc when she does a twist. She gets her shook out of shape. Oh, then she says, little girl, where you been? You should have been home about 10:30. She gets her shook out of shape. Shook out of shape. She gets her shook out of shape. Doing the twist. She slips the disc when she does a twist. She gets her shook out of shape. Her feet start to tremble and she shakes her fist. Her mama's wanting up to do the twist. The room starts to quiver and the house starts to shake. Mama's done twisted up in a quake. And then she says, little girl, you may as well know. You'll do as I say, or you'll go. She gets her shook out of shape. Shook out of shape. She gets her shook out of shape. I'm doing the twist. She slips her disc when she does a twist. She gets her shook out of shape. And she shakes her fist. Oh, Mama's winding up to do the twist. The room starts to quiver and the house starts to shake. Mama's done twisted up in a quake. And if she says, little girl, you may as well know. You'll do as I say, or you'll go. She gets her shook out of shape. Shook out of shape. She gets her shook out of shape. She slips her fingers when she does her twist. She gets her shook out of shape. She slips her
Carol Kay and the Stone Tones with Shook Out of Shape from the film The Incredibly Strange Creatures Who Stopped Living and Became Mixed Up Zombies, another Ray Dennis Steckler classic. Before that, Richard Dreyfuss holiday cooking tip, then Big Boss A Go-Go, Ron Haydock from the film Rat Fink A Boo Boo, and also Rat Fink by Ron Haydock from Rat Fink A Boo Boo. So there you have it. And Rat Fink A Boo Boo was nominated for one of the worst movie titles. I believe so was Incredibly Strange Creatures, if I'm not mistaken. I may be, but again, I don't have the book in front of me right now, so I can't really confirm that. So that'll be up to you to research it if you're that interested in it. And another thing you might find interesting about Ron Haydock is that he died the very same day that Elvis Presley died and received absolutely no press from his death. He was walking along a road or a highway somewhere and was struck and killed. The last years of his life, I believe he was subsisting mostly on writing porn novels. I thought I read that somewhere. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. No job for a guy who played Rat Fink in the movies. Okay, let's get back to the creeping terror for a moment. We have another song from the film. This is called The Dance Hall Twist, also by Dr. Frederick Kopp, whom I learned did not get paid for this. I'm sure most of the people that worked on the film didn't get paid, afterwards anyway. Maybe they might have got a little bit upfront money, but when the star of the movie, Vic Savage, disappeared, he took all the money with him. So I guess the film company, which was Crown Pictures, really had to scrape and get everything together and then put the film out so that they could at least try and recoup some of their money back. I don't think it was very successful, but it sure did make for a memorable movie-going experience, I'm sure. So someone had suggested that perhaps in this particular song, which is called The Dance Hall Twist, that the carpet, which attacks the people at the party, has a better sense of rhythm than the dancers that were in the movie. So you'd have to judge for yourself, but here's Dr. Frederick Kopp with The Dance Hall Twist from The Creeping Terror on The Brain Sandwich Show.
Hello, may I help you?
Yeah, I need me to rent out a porta potty.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I needs me to rent out a porta potty.
You need to order a portable toilet.
But it ain't for me or for my old lady because I'm sick and tired of sharing a bathroom. I'm sick and tired. I want to get a porta potty for my old lady for a birthday present. She leaves the door wide open in the bathroom. I can't be sharing the bathroom no more. Come on, quit your job and I need to get a porta potty. How big the porta potty, the dimensions? I got to make sure I fit it through the door, set it up in the living room. How big the porta potty?
How big's her butt?
Y'all know my old lady nasty butt. She got pimples on her butt. That's my old lady butt. Look like a pepperoni pizza. Nasty. That's why I'm sick and tired of sharing the bathroom with my old lady. She drives me crazy. She can't remember lock the door. I had to look at that. I went blind for 3 days one time. Last thing I remember, them ugly pimples on her butt. Instead of wearing that G-string, look nasty. Nasty booty. That's why I want to get a porta potty. I don't have to share the bathroom.
I think you need a lawyer, not a toilet.
I can't, no, I can't do that. I wish I'd get
a
divorced.
Lawyer'd be cheaper.
I'd get rid of my old lady, but she'll take away my pickup truck and half my junkyard. I'm going crazy. So you guys specialize in sanitation. Maybe you do something about my old lady nasty breath because she smokes cigars. Nasty. Her breath so bad she gotta eat dog biscuits. She go to all the gas stations for 100 miles, eat all the breath mint, the peppermint, the developers, the Tactos, the Listerine, the mouthwash. Her breath's still gonna smell like a porta potty at the county fair.
Where's your address? We'll send one right out.
Well, I'm on Ponce, but I gotta make sure I fit it through the door. How big the porta potty? Because I want to sit up right there in the living room.
You want to sit it right in the living room?
Because my old lady, she'll never go outside if I put her outside. She always sitting around watching TV, watching soap operas all damn day.
Why don't you?
All damn day. She never go outside if I put her outside. I'll sit her right there in the living room.
Why don't you just get her a box of Depends undergarments?
Nah, we only got one bathroom in the house. I need to get another bathroom. Come on, I know what I'm doing. Quit your jiving. We're gonna get a porta potty, and I want you guys.
We don't install them.
Well, I'll get my friend Reggie and my friend Bubba. We'll get the porta potty. Can we do that? And you guys can gift wrap it. Can you gift wrap the porta potty? You know, put a ribbon on there and a card and say, "Happy birthday, Didi, your old bag. This is your birthday present. Enjoy it."
Better than diamonds, huh?
From your old man, Junkyard Willie. Can you do that?
I don't think we could. No.
All right, I'll get the card then. But I need to get it right away because my old lady's birthday was 5 days ago.
Well, get her a card and some flowers.
Oh, I want to do something nice for my old lady. I want to get a porta potty. We don't have to share the bathroom.
Why don't you build your own bathroom?
That'll take too long. I don't want to have to wait another day.
Set up in your living room for your old lady with pimples on her butt.
Because she never go outside and
smoke cigars.
If I set it up outside, she'll just keep using the bathroom inside. That's my bathroom.
And your friends Reggie and Bubba are going to help you set it up.
Yeah. So how much the porta potty? Come on, quit your job.
You are in such sorry shape. We'll give it to you free. Where do you want it?
I'm on Pine Street, but I need to come down with my measurizing tape because I want to make sure I fit it through the door.
Where?
I'll bring you cash money.
Keep it through the door?
I got a dumpster in my living room. I'll probably fit the porta potty in there.
You got a dumpster in the living room? You can put the porta potty right next to it.
I collect trash. Let me come down there with my measurizing tape, make sure I fit it through the door. And don't worry about servicing it. I want to save some cash. We'll service it once every, 6 months.
You're going to dump it once every 6 months. Well, just dump it into the dumpster next to it.
No, that's nasty. Come on.
Well, that's nasty? You know what? I think the health department will not allow this.
What that?
I think you have to get a permit to have a porta potty in your living room.
Don't, come on, we got to work around this. Come on, because my old lady, she never go outside if I put her outside. Come on, work with me. I'm sick and tired of sharing.
I'm sorry to say, but it's too bad for the old lady.
I'm sick and tired of sharing the bathroom. Come on, I've been married 35 miserable years. Come on. I'll bring you cash money. We'll get my friend Bubba and Reggie. We'll bring it inside. Nobody's got to know about this. Come on. What time you guys close?
Okay, you can come over now. We're open now.
All right, I'll be down in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
I'll bring cash money.
All right.
I'll be down a little bit. All right.
Okay, bye.
We're the Lemon Grove Kids.
Lemon Grove Kids.
And we love to have fun.
Love to have fun.
Everywhere we go, you never know what to expect. We're the Lemon Grove Kids.
Lemon Grove Kids.
And we get the job done.
Get the job done.
Anything that you need done, we'll gladly try to do. And if something goes wrong like it usually does, don't you worry at all, because just when you think you should scream for help, we save the day in spite of ourselves. We're the Lemon Grove Kids.
Lemon Grove Kids.
try anything once.
Anything once.
So look out whenever we're around. There's no problem we can't compound. The simple task you need done today is so easy we'll find a harder way. Lemon Grove, Lemon Grove, Lemon Grove, Lemon Grove. Kids!
Short but sweet. That was Don Snyder with We're the Lemon Grove Kids from the series of Lemon Grove Kids films by, again, Ray Dennis Stickler. Before that, the Touch-Tone Terrorists with their phone call, The Porta Potty, and started out with the dance hall twist, Dr. Frederick Kopp from the film The Creeping Terror. All right, let's continue with more turkeys for Thanksgiving. Here's a song from one of my favorite oddball films of all times. The movie was called The Terror of Tiny Town. It's an all-midget western. Yes, that's true. I'm not making that up. Done in 1938. And some of these same actors that were in the film went on to be in The Wizard of Oz the following year. But anyway, here is the saloon number. This is another short one. This is called Hey Look Out, I Want to Make Love to You on the Brain Sandwich Show.
Hey, look out, I'm going to make love to you. See something when I do, you better look out. My happiness depends on that word called yes. Don't make me just wait and guess. You better look out. You've got a way, seems to say every day, that true romance is the thing. Another day, every day, if you let the wedding bells ring. Hey, hey, look out. I'm going to make love to you. See something when I do. You better look out.
Yes, I'd like to talk to somebody about divorce information, please.
Sure, I am the consultant. May I help you?
Yes, my wife of 6 months is having an affair, and I'd like some information on how I'm going to get divorced from the slut.
Do you have any minor children?
Yes, I have small children, about 4'2".
And is she agreeable to the divorce?
Well, she doesn't know yet. I just found out this morning.
Well, there are only two grounds for getting a divorce in California, and they are irreconcilable differences, regardless of what those differences are, as long as you're not going to reconcile them.
Right.
And the other one is incurable insanity.
Incurable insanity?
Yes.
Well, what do you call fucking the bellboy at my expense at a top hotel?
That has to be certified by the state of California.
Well, what do you call having sex, my dear good woman, with a strange man at my expense?
Irreconcilable differences that the two of you are not going to reconcile. Adultery, fornication, and all that good stuff is out in California court.
Okay, well, so what goes on from here? How do I get that slut off my back without losing my goddamn shirt? What's your name, by the way?
My name is...
I'm sorry? Cat who?
Pat is the first name.
Okay, Pat.
And I am the consultant.
You are the consultant. Jolly good. Right, so what do we do about this fucking whore?
First of all, we try to find a better language. Secondly, we would set up an appointment with you to prepare the papers.
Right.
Once the papers are prepared, then you would file them with the respective court.
Right.
And once they have filed, anyone over the age of 18 other than you would serve the papers on her. There is nothing for her to sign.
Right, and then she will not be entitled to any of my monies.
I don't know about that. How long have you been married?
6 months.
Oh, then I doubt it seriously.
You doubt it seriously?
Yeah.
She's very young, also.
Agreement?
No, I didn't sign any prenuptials with her because I didn't think that the fucking bag would be sleeping around immediately as soon as my back was turned, paying for her to be in a very expensive, lavish hotel on Miami Bloody Beach. I can say to you there, Pat.
I just happen to be from Miami.
You're from Miami, are you?
Yes, I am.
Well, really?
Actually born in the West Indies, but is in Miami.
Really, really, really. Well, isn't that a fucking coinky-dink?
Yeah, coincidence.
She's down there now counting bloody ceiling tile. I'm talking to a divorce attorney who lived in bloody Miami.
Okay, but now you say that you do have 2 minor children.
Yes.
Born prior to the marriage.
Yes, well, yes, of course. She's not the mother of the children. She's a slut.
So there are no children of the marriage.
Not of this particular marriage. No, I've been married 12 times.
No child custody, no child support is even an issue.
No. I'm just concerned about the house, the cars, the boats, and the rest of all my toys.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I get laid in the first place.
What we should do is to draw up a marital settlement agreement, see if she'll sign it. If she doesn't sign it, then you would go to court, because after all, you've only been married 6 months.
Right. Now, I don't want to get this in the papers or anything like that, you know?
No, we don't do that.
Okay, good. Well, I'd rather not make a court appearance if I can avoid it.
And you have been in California longer.
Can you believe that I just spent $10,000 on fake tits for this bitch, and she's down there having some Guido fondling them? I am so irate, Pat, I can't tell you.
Yeah, I hear.
I mean, there's some nice boobs, but, you know, come on, give me a break, will you?
Okay, now. So there are no issues that have to be taken care of right now as to separation of property and that type of thing?
Right.
So you don't need a restraining order?
I don't know. Now, well, I'd like a restraining order from her fucking the rest of the world in this period of time. Do you have any idea how embarrassing it is when you are a celebrity, you have a bimbo for a wife who goes and checks into a hotel under my fucking name, fucks her way, God knows who she's done. I mean, it's absolutely... I'm sorry, Pat. I'm getting very upset about the whole thing. I can't. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, I'm sorry.
So what I was saying is that you could file the papers on her and possibly see if she could even sign an agreement that there is no community property.
Right.
If she will do that, then there would be no need for you to go to court at all.
Well, I do hope I don't have to go to court.
Yeah, there would be no need.
Okay.
If she doesn't, more than likely we will have to go to court.
Now, can I send somebody over to that hotel room to, like, sort of break her legs or something like that?
I doubt it then. She'll get a restraining order.
She'll get a restraining order. Well, even if I... Yes, I suppose she would. Slut! She's such a slut! God, I can't believe I'm in this predicament.
Where are you located?
I'm actually, right now, I'm in California.
Okay.
But I have homes all over the country. I just can't believe the fucking bitch can go and fuck somebody else when I'm paid for her tits. I've done everything for this. I'm sorry, Patty.
People do that.
Yes.
Do that. What I was saying is either I could send you a questionnaire sheet, you could complete it.
Send me a questionnaire. That's it. That's where we're at, is it?
Or I could set up an appointment.
I just don't know what to do. Can we suture her vagina closed, maybe?
You may actually want to go get an attorney.
Yes, I think I don't need a bloody attorney. I need a hitman. Okay. Or a good doctor with a sharp, bloody needle. I tell you that, sew that little pocket up. There's more traffic than the Lincoln fucking Tunnel in there.
No comment.
Right, well then, thank you very much, Pat, you fucking slut yourself. Piss off and have a good fucking day.
Okay, Sir Pete's Divorce. That was the Ballbusters, and before that, from the film The Terror of Tiny Town, this was the saloon sequence. Hey, Look Out, I Want to Make Love to You by Miss Johnny Fern. And I recommend, if you want to find out more about these films, and you can't get a hold of the Golden Turkey book, just Wikipedia it, because I know that The Creeping Terror was Wikipedia'd, if that's a real word. And I imagine Terror of Tiny Town would be too, but there are websites devoted to this film, so I'm not making it up. I wish I had some of those copies to to give out to you, but I only have a couple, and those are mine, so maybe at some point in the future I'll get some more, and I can do that. But I'm told that Disney sometimes runs that film, which I was really surprised to hear, since it's so politically incorrect these days, but oh well, who knows. So, let's move along. Here is, not from the Golden Turkey album, but a turkey nonetheless. I couldn't get by without doing this for a Thanksgiving show. Here's Bill Smith on the Brain Sandwich Show.
Oh, that shark bites with such teeth dear, and he shows them pearly whites. Just a jackknife as old Mag Heap bed, and he keeps it out of sight. You know that shark bite with its teeth, babe. Scarlet billows start to spread, Fancy love those like old Maggie, babe. So there's never a trace of red. Now on the sidewalk, Sunday morning, lies a body, it's a oozing life. Someone sneaking round the corner. Could that someone be Mac the Knife? There's a tugboat down by the river, don't you know? There a cement bag is a drooping on down. Oh, that cement is just, it's there for the weight, dear. Five will get you 10, oh, that is back in town. Now did you hear about Louis? He disappeared, babe, after drawing out all his hard-earned cash. And now Mac, he spends just like a sailor. Could it be our boy's done something rash? Jenny Java, ho, ho, yeah, Suki Tawdry, Boo Moo, Miss Lolly Lenya, and old Lucy Brown. Oh, that line forms on the right, babe. Now that Mackie's back in town. Jenny Java, yo, Suki Tawdry, use out Miss Lolly Lenya, and old Lucy Brown. Who's that line forms on the right, babe? Now that Mackie's back in town. Look out, old Maggie's back.
And now, Celebrity Holiday Cooking Tip number 207 with Jack Webb.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to cook a turkey. You know the kind. The guy who pulls an armed robbery at the corner liquor store. Some two-bit crumb that doesn't know right from wrong. A real loser looking for trouble like a miner for gold. First you read the turkey his rights. Then make him assume the position. That's right. Then stuff him. Next take the turkey down to the station house. Do we put him on ice? No, we put him in the oven and let him sweat. Turn the heat up till he confesses. Let him cool on his heels. Then serve up your yard bird, plain or with the facts. Bon appetit.
I got it. Hello?
Hello?
Hang on a second. Hello?
Yes.
What can I do for you?
I need some old... I'm 93 years old. Can you make a delivery at the hospital?
To the hospital?
Yes, I haven't had a drink in 3 days.
You're going to need a prescription from your physician.
Why can't you just come down? The doctors are out for the night.
The doctors are off for the night?
Yes. I'll pay you $100 for a bottle of old...
What size?
Any size. Can you make a delivery? I'm in room 206.
Room 206.
This is Louis Pellegrini.
Well, if I bring it to the nurse...
No, don't let her know.
Don't let her know?
Just show up. Sneak in.
What if I get arrested?
Put on a nurse's outfit. Can you do that for me?
What hospital are you at?
The one right by you.
Well, are you at the county hospital?
Yes, my grandson put me in here. I need some booze and a young broad. Oh. Oh.
I'll tell you what I'll do with you, Louis.
Oh. I need a drink. Stop making fun of me. I need a drink. Stop making fun of me, you bastard. You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
Actually, you know who you need to talk to? But you need to talk to our delivery person.
Put his ass on the line.
Put Brian on the phone, please.
Hello?
Hello?
What's taking you so long?
For what?
I need a drink.
You need a drink?
Yes, make a delivery. What's taking you so long?
I got bad
Get
brakes.
on the ball. Hurry up.
I got bad brakes.
You son of a bitch, you have bad breath. You bastard. Hurry up. Hurry up, you bastards, and stop laughing at me.
Brian.
So sorry, man.
I haven't had a drink in 3 days.
Yeah, Mike.
You don't know what it's like to be in here.
He wants to...
My grandson put me in here for psychiatric evaluation. I don't belong here.
Are you under security?
Yes.
Well, how am I supposed to get the booze up there?
Can you put on a nurse's outfit? They'll never know.
All right, I'm going to hang up now, Louie.
Oh. Oh.
Well, I apologize for laughing, but if you were in my...
You bastard.
I'm not a bastard.
You son of a bitch. Give me a drink. I need booze and a broad.
Well, I thought you just needed a drink. Now you want me to be your pimp. Is that what
I
you're
want
telling
a
me?
young broad. I want a young filly. I need some lovin'. So I want her in a nurse's outfit. Big honkers. And a nice bosom.
Well,
I want to grab it.
All right, well, look, I'd love to accommodate you.
Put on a nurse's outfit.
All right, I gotta go.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I gotta go. Good night.
Oh.
Hey, wait, listen to this.
The Touchtone Terrorist with Liquor for Louie. Before that, Jack Webb Holiday Cooking Tip, and start out with Mac the Knife by Bill Smith. And although that wasn't from the Golden Turkey album, I felt I had to include it here because it is, nonetheless, a turkey. And so I hope you enjoyed it for whatever it is that it's worth. And it looks like we're starting to wind down a little bit here. I've got one more set of songs, and then the big finale, which I didn't mention before. It's a version I gosh darn guarantee you've never heard before of Alice's Restaurant. And that's because it was recorded especially for this particular program. And I will get to that in just a little bit here, but let's talk about the next set. I mentioned earlier that I had not intended to do a Thanksgiving show because there really just aren't turkey carols out there that you can do. And until I thought of doing the Golden Turkey album stuff, which made it stretch out rather nicely, I think. But I had always intended on playing the finale, doing it, but it was only one song, even though it's 21 plus minutes. I don't think one song makes a podcast. So anyway, I'm glad to have found some of this other stuff to put on there for you. And stay tuned for that big version of Alice's Restaurant to close with here. But these songs in the next set you have heard before, because as I say, I did not intend to do a Thanksgiving show, and so I had played these earlier just sort of as a nod to Thanksgiving. But now I feel I have to include them on a show like this so that it's all, you get it all in one thing here. So we'll start out with Benny Bell with The Goose for My Girl at Thanksgiving, and we'll wind up with Eatin' Turkey by Dean and Jerry. Not the real Dean and Jerry, but it sounds pretty good actually. So here is Benny Bell on The Brain Sandwich Show.
I used to worry when Thanksgiving Day was near. What can I give my girl to fill her heart with cheer? But I solved that problem, I'm a clever boy. I know exactly how to fill her heart with joy. I'm gonna give my girl a goose for Thanksgiving. It won't surprise her since I did it once before. She jumps just like the deuce every time she gets a goose. Perhaps I ought to give her 2 or more. I wish I could afford to buy her a turkey, but turkeys cost so much and I'm out of work, you see. So I'll just give my girl a goose, a good old-fashioned goose. I wish someone would do the same for me. I'm gonna give my girl a goose for Thanksgiving. My friends all tell me that the plan is very smart. In fact, her daddy said to me very confidentially, that's just the way he won her mama's heart. So if you wanna make your darling feel happy, then take a tip from me and do the same thing too. Go on and give your girl a goose, a nice soft tender goose, and you'll discover if her love is true. I don't mean gander, a good old-fashioned goose will do.
Now, this week's cooking tip with Julia Wild.
Today, I'd like to share with you a holiday recipe I call Duck S&M. First, you take the bird and tie its little feet to the skillet. I like to use these little handcuffs. You can get them at your local novelty shop. There. Then you take a mixture of whipped butter and cranberry sauce. Slowly, in ever-widening circles, spread it all over your body. Yeah. More. Then take the bird and slap it across your back. Oh, more. Yes.
Tune in next time when Julia Wild explores baking with bondage.
Whoa, I just love this time of year, don't you, Jer?
I sure do, Dino. 'Tis the season.
Check out those breasts.
I like their size.
How about those legs?
And juicy thighs. My tongue is flapping.
Oh, stop your yapping. We're eating turkey. We invited our family.
They only came here 'cause dinner's free.
They really hate us.
Pass the potatoes.
We're eating turkey.
Ivan.
When we first saw that turkey, he ran around and clucked.
Gobble, gobble.
And when I pulled out that hatchet, he knew that he was
plucked. Oh, pull on the wishbone. It breaks apart.
Pull on my finger. You'll smell a
Dean.
What a sensation.
It's flatulation.
From eating turkey.
Medic, somebody light a match.
I really love the white meat. It's great when you want a snack.
They say once you've tried the dark meat, you never will go back. Wow, Ivan, I ate too much. It's time to leave.
Oh, I drank too much. It's time to heave.
Look out, we've eaten our fill.
But all next week we'll be eating turkey. I'll be drinking turkey, Pally. That's wild turkey on the rocks.
By the way, Dino, how was your date last night?
Well, let's just say that I butterballed her.
You mean she was ugly like a turkey?
No, but she was a gobbler.
Oh, I hope she enjoyed the stuffing.
She lapped up the gravy, too, Pally.
Dean and Jerry with Eatin' Turkey. And before that, Julia Child's holiday cooking tip. And started out with A Goose for My Girl at Thanksgiving. Okay, well, we've reached the end of things here, getting ready for the big finale. But first, let me explain a little bit about what's happening here. As most of you know, the Brain Sandwich Show was on KDHX for many years. And at some point, the other two fellows, Jim Finley and Jay Schober, decided that they wanted to do an All Alice's Restaurant Spectacular every year. And this would occur on the weekend prior to Thanksgiving, okay, because afterward it was no good. So there were times when we were on Sundays when they did it, and then, of course, we were moved to Saturday mornings, and then they would do it then, just prior to Thanksgiving. I opted out of doing those particular shows because I really didn't feel it was all that funny to play 5 or however many versions of Alice's Restaurant they had at the time. Some were full-length versions, and I believe one was an abbreviated version by the 101 strings. What is funny is that most of the time they never got through all the versions that they had because they wouldn't shut up. They kept talking on the microphone, or people would call in and delay the start of each particular song. So Jay wanted to do a Richard Nixon version of Alice's Restaurant. He wanted me to do a Walter Brennan version of Alice's Restaurant because I did a passable impression at the time of Walter Brennan and whatnot. But I didn't want to come into a studio and have to sit down and do Alice's Restaurant for 18 and a half minutes as Walter Brennan. But Jay saw how aggravating it would be to people to have another version of Alice's Restaurant. And so that gave him the drive, I guess you could say, to go ahead and record this Richard Nixon Alice's Restaurant. And luckily he got some good people to back him up on it and record it with him and things like that. So it didn't turn out too awful bad, or at least what I've heard of it. But since we're off the air now, and he was, it was a great tragedy to him that we got kicked off the air before we could play this version of Alice's Restaurant on the program, and it would have happened this weekend had we still been on the air. But things didn't work out, so here we are. Here I am playing it, so they were kind enough to give me one. So here it is. We're going to finish up with this. Now I want you all to have a great Thanksgiving. Have a safe time. Be sure you cook the bird properly, okay? Don't let what happened to our family happen to yours, and you wind up eating Spam on Thanksgiving for the next 35 years. So we close with Jay Schober and Folk and Bluegrass with the Richard Nixon version of Alice's Restaurant in all of its full glory. He said that there's some language in it, and I didn't get to hear it that far yet. So anyway, I guess it's not for the kiddies, and none of this has been for the kiddies, as you can well tell. But we go back to doing regular programs shortly, and then I'll be doing the big Christmas spectacular, again by myself, because I have all the good stuff to play and things. So, again, have a safe and wonderful holiday season, everybody, and I will talk to you later. Adios.
Well, Mr. President, are you ready?
Well, Fred, I think I'm as ready as I'll ever be. I don't know. I'm really concerned about this. I think I got driven out of office a little bit too early, Fred. And I think if I just came out with a song and maybe showed how hip I was. In fact, I'm going to tell you something. This was terrible, Fred. They've even called something, it's a fear of me. It's called trichodicophobia. It's this terrible thing. I just have to get over that. Fred.
Oh, no. I wouldn't worry about that, sir. I believe you're talking about triskaidekaphobia, and that is the fear of the number 13.
Oh, okay. Well, forget it then, Fred. Maybe I'm just a little paranoid, after what I've been through.
Oh, it's nothing to worry about, sir.
Anyway, I really think I could redeem myself by being hip.
Yes, Mr. President.
And I think this was the way to be hip, Fred.
Yes, Mr.
I'm going to do it right now.
Okay, Mr. President, we will get the tapes rolling, and here we go.
Good. Keep me in line, Fred.
Yes, sir.
Well, this song is called Alice's Restaurant, and it's about Alice and the restaurant. But Alice's Restaurant is not the name of the restaurant. It's just the name of the song. And that's why I call the song Alice's Restaurant.
Slick, Dick. Very slick.
You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Walk right in, it's around the back, just a half a mile from the railroad track. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant.
Oh, you nailed it. You nailed it, sir.
Thanks, Fred. Now, it all started on Thanksgiving ago. That was 2 years ago on Thanksgiving. Somewhere back there. I don't remember. It's all very hazy now, Fred. When my friend and that was my friend BB Reboso, you remember him, don't you, Fred?
I'm trying to.
We went up to visit Alice at the restaurant, but Alice doesn't live in the restaurant. She lives in the church nearby the restaurant. in the bell tower with her husband Ray and the Fasha the dog. Now, that's not Checkers, it's Fasha. Checkers was my dog, Fred.
Yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you about Checkers. I think he just peed on my leg.
Checkers, sit. Living in the bell tower like that, they had a lot of room downstairs where the pews used to be, and having all that room, seeing how they took out all the pews, they decided they didn't have to take out their garbage for a really long time. Well, we got there and we found all the garbage in there, and we decided it'd be a friendly gesture for us to take the garbage down to the city dump, Fred. So we took a half a ton of garbage and put it in the back of a red VW microbus, took shovels and rakes and implements of destruction, and we headed off toward the city dump. Well, we got there and there was a big sign and a chain across the dump saying, closed on Thanksgiving.
Nice rhythm.
Well, we had never heard of a dump being closed on Thanksgiving before, and with tears in our eyes, we drove off into the sunset looking for another place to dump the garbage. I remember it like it was yesterday, Fred. But we didn't find one until we came to a side road, and off to the side of the side road, there was another 15-foot cliff, and at the bottom of the cliff there was another pile of garbage. Well, we decided that the one big pile is better than two little piles, and rather than to bring that one up, we decided we'd throw ours down. It was good thinking, Fred, don't you think?
Yes, sir, Mr. President.
Well, that's what we did. And we drove back to the church, had a Thanksgiving dinner that couldn't be beat, went to sleep and didn't get up until the next morning when we got a phone call from Officer Obie. And he said, "Kid, we found your name at an envelope at the bottom of a half a ton of garbage. And he just wanted to know if we had any information about it." Well, I said to him, "Yes, sir, Officer Obie. I cannot tell a lie. B.B. Reboso put that envelope under that garbage."
That's what we've heard.
Well, after speaking to Officer Obie for about 45 minutes on the telephone, we finally arrived at the truth of the matter, and he said that we had to go down and pick up the garbage. And also, we had to go to speak to him at the police officer station. So we got in the red VW microbus with the shovels and the rakes and the implements of destruction, and we headed on toward the police officer station. I remember it, just like yesterday. Now, friends, there was only one or two things that Obie could have done at the police officer station, and the first was he could have given us a medal for being so brave and honest on the telephone, which wasn't very likely, and we didn't expect it. And the other thing he could have done was to bawl us out and tell us never again to be seen driving garbage around the vicinity, which is what we expected. But when we got to the police officer station, there was a third possibility. And it was a possibility we hadn't even counted on, and we was both immediately arrested. Arrested, Fred. Handcuffed. And I said, "Obie, I don't think I can pick up the garbage with these handcuffs on." Well, Obie said, "Shut up, kid. Get in the back of the patrol car." Well, that's what we did. We sat in the back of the patrol car and we drove to the, quote, scene of the crime, unquote. Well, I want to tell you about the town of Stockbridge, Massachusetts, where this happened. You know, it's sort of like Whittier, California, where I grew up, except it's named Stockbridge and it's in Massachusetts. It's a little different. You understand?
Mr. President,
Yes.
could you hold it just a second? I think we're getting a little interference from the Secret Service communication system. Could you ask them to kind of back off a little bit?
Back off, boys. Back off. It's safe in here. Just back off.
Well, that's
Thank
better.
you.
That's better. Okay. Continue, Mr. President.
Anyway, in the town of Stockbridge, Massachusetts, where this happened, they got these 3 stop signs and 2 police officers and 1 police car. But when we got to the, quote, scene of the crime, quote, there were 5 police officers, 3 police cars, yet it being the biggest crime of the last 50 years, and everybody wanted to get in the newspaper story about it. And they were using up all kinds of cop equipment that they had hanging around the police officer station. They took plaster tire tracks, footprints, dogs, smelling prints. Checkers, sit. And they also took 27 8x10 color glossy photographs with circles and arrows explaining as what each one was to be used as evidence against us. Well, they took pictures of the approach, the getaway, the northwest corner, and the southwest corner. And that's not to mention the aerial photography. Well, after the ordeal, we went back to the jail, and Obie said he was going to put us in the cell. He said, "Kid, we're going to put you in the cell. I want your wallet and your belt."
Mr. President,
Yes,
President,
yes.
we're here to To record Alice's Restaurant, right?
Right.
Okay, well, we're kind of running out of tape. You wouldn't know where we might be able to find some more tape, do you?
Ask Rosemary Wood, the secretary. She has plenty of tape. And actually, there's just maybe a unfortunate 18 and a half minutes of it's blank, but the rest of it you could use.
Okay, we'll send a courier.
No problem. Anyway.
You were saying?
I don't remember what I was saying, Fred, but I'll figure it out. He goes, oh, I know. He said, kid, he said, I want your wallet and your belt. And I said, I can understand why you want my wallet, so I don't have any money to spend in the cell, but what do you want my belt for, Obi? And he said, well, kid, we don't want any hangings. Well, I looked at him. I said, Obi, did you think I was going to hang myself for littering? Well, Obi said he was just making sure, and friends, Obi was, because he took out the toilet seat so I couldn't hit myself over the head and drown, and he took out the toilet paper so he couldn't bend the bars and roll out the toilet paper out the window and slide down the roll and have it escape. Well, Obi was making sure. It was about 4 or 5 hours later that Alice, remember Alice? I barely remember Alice. Oh, it's a song about Alice, right? It's called Alice's Restaurant, a song about Alice.
She's
I
hot.
get that part, yes.
She's real hot.
Anyway, Alice came by with a few choice words to Obi on the side. She bailed us out of jail, and we went back to the church, and we had another Thanksgiving dinner that couldn't be beat. And we didn't get up until the next morning when we all had to go to court. Well, we walked in and we sat down, and Obi came in with the 27 8x10 color glossy photographs with circles and arrows and a paragraph on the back to be used as evidence against us. That's right, that's what happened, Fred. Well, anyway, a man came in. He said, all rise, and we all stood up. And Obi stood up with the 27 8x10 color glossy pictures, and the judge walked in and sat down with a seeing eye dog. And he sat down, and he said, we all sat down. Obi looked at the seeing eye dog, and then at the 27 8x10 color glossy photographs with circles and arrows to be used in evidence against us. And then Obi began to cry, Fred. He began to cry. Because Obi came to the realization that it was a typical case of American blind justice. And there wasn't nothing he could do about it. And the judge wasn't going to look at the 27 8x10 color glossy photographs. Used with arrows and paragraphs and all the rest of the stuff.
Mr. President.
Yeah, well, you're disturbing my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. What do you want?
I've got to put the extra tape in. We just got the courier back from the White House.
That's right.
Let's hook up the extra tape. 1, 2, 3, 4, go.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
All right. Anyway, we were each fined $50 and we had to pick up the garbage in the snow, but that's not what I came to talk to you about. I came to talk about the draft. I mean, there's a little draft in here, I think. Fred, you close the door, will you? It's a little cold outside.
I'm feeling a little
Somebody
chill.
left the door open. I don't think, maybe it was one of my agents. I don't know, Fred, but the door's open. Just close it. Too much of a draft. Anyway.
It's kind of breezy.
They've got a building down in New York City. It's called Whitehall Street, where you walk in and you get injected, inspected, dejected, infected, neglected, and selected. I went down to the physical examination one day and I walked in and I sat down and I got good and drunk the night before, so I looked and felt my very best when I went to that inn that morning, and because I wanted to look like the all-American kid from New York City. Man, I wanted to feel like I wanted to be the all-American kid from New York. And I walked in and sat down and I was hung down, brung down, hung up, and all sorts of mean, nasty, ugly things. And I walked in and I sat down and they gave me a piece of paper and said, kid, see the psychiatrist, room 604. And I went there and I said, shrink, I want to kill. I mean, I want to kill. I want to see blood and gore and guts and veins in my teeth. Dead and burnt bodies, I mean, kill, kill, kill. And I started jumping up and down, yelling, kill, kill, kill. And then Evie Reboso jumped up and down with me and started yelling, kill, kill, kill. And then Ehrlich and Halsman came in and they was jumping up and down yelling, kill, kill, kill.
Nice passion, nice
and
passion.
the sergeant came over in the middle of me and he said, you're our boy. Let's go on down the hall, he said. I didn't feel too good about it. I proceeded on down the hall, getting more injections, inspections, dejections, neglections, and all kinds of stuff that they was doing to me out there. And I was there for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. I was there for a long time, Fred, a long time, going through all kinds of mean, nasty, ugly things. And I was just having a tough time there. And there was injecting every single part of me, and there wasn't leaving any part untouched.
It gets kind of cold in those tidy whities.
It does, absolutely. I didn't wear tidy whities, Fred. I always wore boxers. I was a boxer guy from the very beginning.
Checkers isn't a boxer.
Checkers is not a boxer, Fred. Checkers
Okay.
is a setter, a spaniel.
Oh, okay.
He's not a boxer. It's not what I was talking about, Fred. Just don't get ahead of me here. Okay?
Continue, Mr. President.
Thank you. Now you got me all confused again. Anyway, I said that they didn't leave any part untouched. Did I tell you that, Fred? Did I say that part? I saw that part. They touched that part too, Fred. There was all of it, everything. Anyway, I sat down, and this guy walked up to me, and I said, what do you want? And he said, kid, we only got one question. Kid, have you ever been arrested? Well, I proceeded to tell him the story of Alice's Restaurant Massacre with full orchestration and the 5-part harmony and stuff like that and all the phenomena. Oh, and he stopped me right there and he said, kid, did you ever go to court? Go to court? And I said, what did I do? Fred said, you're confusing the heck out of me again. He said, kid, did you ever go to court? Well, I proceeded to tell him the story of the 27 8x10 color glossy photographs with the circles and arrows and the paragraph in the back of each one to be used in it. And he stopped me right there and he said, kid, I want you to go sit down on that bench that says Group W. Now, kid. And I walked over to the bench there, and there's this Group W bench where they put you if you may not be moral enough to join the army after committing your special crime. And there was all kinds of mean, nasty, ugly-looking people on the bench. There were, well, mother rapers. I hate to say that, Fred, but mother rapers were there, and father stabbers, and who's the asshole that put this in here? Fred, why did you put this thing in here?
I had nothing to do with it.
Oh, Fred, I can't say this word. I can't say it.
And what is it, sir?
Father rapers, Fred. I can't say that. I can't even understand the concept,
I
Fred.
think the Archbishop put it in there.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe so. I don't know. But anyway. But there were these people, those people, they were sitting right next to me on the Group W bench. And they were mean and nasty and ugly and horrible crime-type guys sitting on the bench next to me. And the meanest, ugliest, nastiest one, the meanest father, you know what, of them all, was coming over to me, and he was mean and ugly and nasty and horrible and all kinds of things. And he sat down next to me, Fred. He sat right next to me. And he said, kid, what did you get? I said, I didn't get anything. I had to pay $50 and pick up all the garbage. He said, what were you arrested for, kid? I said, littering. Littering. Yeah, littering. And they all moved away from me on the bench. And they gave me the hairy eyeball, and they gave me mean, nasty looks and all kinds of mean, nasty, ugly things until I said, and creating a nuisance. And they all came back to me, and they shook my hand, and we had a great time on the bench talking about crime, mother stabbing, you know what, father stuff, with all kinds of groovy things that we was talking about on the bench. And everything was fine. We were smoking cigarettes and all kinds of things until the sergeant came over to me, had some paper in his hand, and he held it up and he said, kid, this piece of paper's got 47 words, 37 sentences, 58 words, and one about these arresting officers, name of the crime, all that kind of stuff, and all sorts of stuff. And he talked for 45 minutes, and nobody understood a word that he said. But we had fun filling out the forms and playing with the pencils on the bench there, down there, just like it was, and everything was fine. And I put down the pencil and I turned over the piece of paper, and there on the other side of the middle of the other side, right away from everything else on the other side, in parentheses, capital letters, quotated, read the following words. What did you know, and when did you know it, kid? No, just kidding, Fred. That goes back to old Watergate days. Just forget it. What it really said was, kid, have you rehabilitated yourself? Well, I went over to the sergeant, and I said, Sergeant, you got a lot of damn gall to ask me if I've rehabilitated myself. I'm sitting here on the bench. I'm sitting here on the Group W bench. Because you want to know if I'm moral enough to join the army, burn women, kids, houses, and villages after being a litter bug. He looked at me and he said, kid, we don't like your kind, and we're going to send your fingerprints off to Washington.
We have a cough button, sir. We'll take care of that. Yeah.
I thought you did.
We'll delete that from the tape along with the other 18 minutes.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
Anyway, and friends, somewhere in Washington, enshrined in some little folder, is a study in black and white of my fingerprints. And the only reason I'm singing you this song is because you may know somebody in a similar situation, or you may be in a similar situation. If you're in a situation like that, there's only one thing you can do, and that's to walk into the shrink, wherever you are. Just walk in and say, "Shrink, you can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant," and walk out. You know, if one person, just one person, Fred, does it, they may think it's really sick and they won't take it. And if two people do it in harmony, they'll think they're both faggots and they won't take either one, Fred. Well, if they brought a goat with them, that will, we don't want to get off on that.
Let's not go there, sir.
But that would be funny, wouldn't it, Fred, if I did that in the song, brought that element into it, wouldn't that be good?
I think we should refrain, Mr. President.
Okay, all right, I understand. All right, anyway. We have 3 people. Can you imagine 3 people a day walking into the shrink's office and singing at bar of Alice's restaurant and walking out? They may think it's an organization. And can you imagine 50 people a day? I said 50 people a day walking and singing at bar of Alice's restaurant and walking out. And friends, they may think it's a movement. That's just what it is. The Alice's Restaurant anti-massacre movement. And all you got to do to join is to sing it the next time it comes around on the guitar, with feeling. So, Fred, we'll wait here until the next time it comes around on the guitar.
I'm moved, sir. I'm moved.
I think it's coming pretty soon.
Yeah, I feel a movement coming on.
I think so. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Walk right in, it's around the back, just a half a mile from the railroad track. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant.
Very good, Mr. President. Again.
No, that was horrible. If you want to add war and stuff, you got to sing loud. I've been singing now for 20 minutes, and I could sing for hours and hours and hours because I love this, Fred. I love this. I'm not proud or tired, so we'll wait around again until it comes around on the guitar and with 4-part harmony and feeling this time, Fred.
Yes, sir.
Now we're just waiting for it to come around. You could get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. You could get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Walk right in, it's around the back, just a half a mile from the railroad track. You could get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Walk right in, it's around the back, just a half a mile from the railroad track. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Except the Alice cake. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Walk right in, it's around the back, just a half a mile from the railroad track. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. At Alice's Restaurant.
Oh, we can work with that, Mr. President. That was really slick.
What do you think, Fred?
Well, I think you nailed it, sir.
Do you think I'm hip now? Do you think they'll think I'm hip now?
The hip factor has risen quite extremely.
I think so too. Send a copy to BB for me, will you? And send a copy to Haldeman and Ehrlichman and John Mitchell. Make sure Martha Mitchell gets one too.
Yes, sir, Mr. President.
Okay, because I think this is the crowning achievement of my presidency.
Yes, sir.
This song. Thank you so much, Fred.
Oh, you're
and thank you to
welcome.
all the folk and bluegrass guys too, because they were just great. I couldn't have done them without any of you. I'm going to give you all, if you need a presidential pardon, you've got one.
Yes, sir.
No problem.
And
we
when
all
you
have one.
when you fill out that pardon, please write it out as folk and blues grass.
I said folk and bluegrass. That's what I said.
Yes,
Folk
sir.
and bluegrass.
We've got it on tape.
Okay. Oh. Wait a minute. Who are you going to give the tape to, Fred?
Oh, no, it's...
I don't want anybody having that tape. There's so many assholes out there.
Yes, sir. It's internal use.
All right.
Internal use. I mean, we will destroy them.
I said folk and bluegrass, Fred.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Have a great